Well, Darren, an early goal, a late goal, plenty of possession and promise in between. You just couldn't quite convert it into an equaliser.
No, in a game that obviously we didn't start well. I mean, it's the way it is at the moment. The deflection could go anywhere and it ends up in the net. But we responded very well, and I thought from that moment on we were the dominating team. And I think we had 14 shots, but only one on target, so that tells its own story. That's a bit of, I just said to the players, the performance I was pleased with, but it's just that little bit of quality that we needed in the last bit. But performance-wise, it was very good. It's not often you lose a game and get a standing ovation from your supporters, and the players know that. If we can keep that level of performance, but improve obviously the last little bit, then we'll win games.
And you mentioned the stats in terms of shots and number on target. I think 62% possession as well. Plenty of possession, just not converting them into clear-cut opportunities enough.
Yeah, for some reason I don't know why, because we do a lot of it in training. We seem reluctant to shoot. We get into positions, we seem reluctant to pull the trigger. Their goal was a great example. Pull the trigger and you don't know what happens. And I said that to them half time. We're going to shoot more. But yeah, we were dominating the game, and you quite quickly, the fans here, who are fantastic, I have to say, but they can get frustrated, which they did. And I felt if we got the equaliser, we'd go on and win it, but we didn't do either of that, and obviously we've lost a sucker punch at the end where the boys just run through and scored.
And I suppose it's particularly frustrating for you going back to that reluctance to shoot. I remember we had the same conversation after Middlesbrough. You had 60% possession and I think 0 shots on target that afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, this was a far better performance.
Yeah.
This is our best away performance. There's no doubt about it. But we lost the game, and that's a big disappointment. But I have to look. Obviously, there's a huge disappointment in the dressing room, and the fact that we've lost another away game. But I also have to look at the level of performance. And I said to the players that there's ways of losing games of football, and that was the correct way of losing it today. So we have to just keep ploughing away, and obviously I would like to think that our results will change if we get that level of performance.
And you kind of mentioned it, after 3 minutes you're behind, the fans, you're probably thinking the same thing, after Swansea, here we go again, but credit to the players, they showed that resolve and didn't concede in clusters like we have seen. Yeah,
we've done a bit of work this week in sense of psychologically, and look, if we start badly, or if things go against us, just forget about it, just pretend it's 0-0. And I have to say, credit to my players, they responded really well from going behind. And we were really pushing towards the end of the half. Second half they started strong, and then we got back on the ascendancy. But like you say, we haven't tested our goalkeeper enough. That was the biggest the criticism I'd throw at the players. For all the domination we had, we didn't really test the goalie.
Yeah, I think the best chance was probably Taylor's, wasn't it, that came off the bar and then Schmodik's offside.
Yeah, he's offside, but you're just hoping it bounces in and over the line. But there was some really good stuff, some really good performances. Dembele was unplayable. He was absolutely sensational today.
And I think probably one thing as well, there's 2 carbon copy chances. I think it was Knight on the left-hand side, Ward on the right-hand side, trying to shoot from a tight angle when the ball across would have been better. So just decision-making in and around the box.
Yeah, but these are the finer details we have to get correct. Wardy had one, it just goes over the bar. Knight had one, he slashed at it, it's just come on. H had one as well. Just a bit more composure, and we would have got something out of the game. But in terms of the level of performance, obviously some tough decisions to make about how I started. I wanted Sariki and Sammy up front because they can run in behind, which they did well, and I wanted George because I know he can supply them.
Yeah, what was your thinking there? Because obviously we've seen you not being able to play Clark Harris when he's been suspended. You've played without him. Obviously, good performance against QPR, but sometimes it hasn't worked like with Swansea and Middlesbrough.
I felt today the reason, and I explained to Jono on Thursday, because I had quite a long time to pick my team. And sometimes for a manager in the breaks too long, you overthink it. But I made my mind up earlier in the week that I wanted to press higher, and 2, we felt the space was behind the centre halves as opposed to in front, and I thought they have both caused them problems. George, because he creates, and I wanted an extra midfielder to look after Alan, so that was the reason. And I went with Wardy on one side and Butts on the other because I felt we're going with H and Wardy might just, I wanted one sort of defender there. So listen, you have to pick your team, and you pick formations, and I feel at the moment the way we are, I think I said it after the Fulham game, it's going to be hard to get a consistency in continually playing maybe the same formation. I'm treating each game individually. So against Blackburn, we have to, obviously deal with that accordingly.
The red card incident seemed to be the right decision. What do you make of it?
I didn't really. The only thing I seen was the boy again trying to time waste and ran in front of Josh. George gave him a little nudge. I think one of the lads said he stuck the head on him. So the referee's got it right. The referee was good. I thought he had a good game. I thought he got the injury time right. It could have been longer because every time they went down, they were stopping the game. There's not many teams have come to Stoke and done that, in terms of dominating the game. But we have to find a way of winning games. It's away from home because, there's no good saying we did all right but lost. That's not what we're about.
And I know obviously everyone will look at the results, and the fans who came here, more than 1,000 of them, will be going home after another defeat. But as you said, plenty of promise from today's away performance compared to others going into midweek against Blackburn.
I think the key for me is, and I've said to the players, is can we get that level of performance on a consistent basis, but just improve the areas we need to improve. But if we got that performance on a consistent basis, I think what will breed, I just said, if you can't take belief out of that, these are fifth in the league, they've not lost at home. I've watched some of the games, they annihilated West Brom here. There's plenty of belief to take away from this place.